Before Guillaume could join with his liege's army, he needed to gather his own men and organize them into fighting order. To do this, he first needed to get a lay of the land. A collection of large rocks caught Guillaume's eye. Wary of hidden threats, he decided to investigate. Guillaume discovered a recently abandoned camp. A closer look would determine which direction the men went. Happy knowing that his men were nearby, Guillaume refocused his attention. Guillaume set off in search of his men, scouting the surroundings as he moved.
Obéir est vertus. Mi bunds chevaus va avant.
With each gallop of his horse's hooves, more of Guillaume's land was revealed to him.
Ban saith vostre commande. Urandrei. Ouf la Dieu merci.
Guillaume had found his spearmen. However, they would need to be organized and prepared for battle, after which he could continue searching for the rest of his forces. With his spearmen found, Guillaume was one step closer to reclaiming his dukedom. First, he would need to organize them under his command. Only then could he continue his search for the rest of his forces. He gathered his spearmen and coordinated them into proper rank and file.
Bene. Gwen? Lancière, si! Ok. Mandement? Parat! Lanciers! Gwen? Parat! Lanciers paraté! Si, boys. Ite, Sarvientes.
Guillaume knew that his men would need to follow his every command in the coming battle, and so he assigned them as a group under his control. Guillaume's spearmen were now a respectable fighting unit. It was time to march on in search of more reinforcements.
Vos stress l'encaisse.
Obéir est vertus.
Bene.
Prête suis pour Normandie. Avant chevauche.
Mande des mantes. Ok, si, boys.
Guillaume's cousin and treacherous rebel Guy de Bourgogne had erected a wooden palisade along the path in an attempt to halt Guillaume's progress. However, this was no problem for his spearmen, who destroyed it with ease.
Gwen? Bene. L'inimi!
An enemy patrol had been scouting the area. Guillaume knew that his spearmen were the perfect counter and saw this as an opportunity to test their mettle.
Alex couverts.
Victoria!
With his spearmen now proven in battle, Guillaume and his men moved on.
Uth la Dieu merci.
Ok.
A group of enemy archers blocked Guillaume's path. He knew their long range would give them a distinct advantage over his spearmen. As luck would have it, a regiment of his loyal horsemen had been spotted close by.
Cavallarios parat! Ok, perfecto. A calque, cavalario!
Guillaume once again proved he was a shrewd tactician. He knew his horsemen had the speed to run down and defeat the much slower archers. With his horsemen now battle-hardened, Guillaume focused on locating his own regiment of archers.
Si, parat. Parat! Bene. Siete, cavals. Quid ordines? Escoltez. Si. Novos mandements.
Prêt suis pour Normandie. Tweet qui eren de sunt perdu.
Lantiers parate. Si, boys. Barat. Vado. Quid? Lantiers, si. Proxy. In avant, Lantiers. Scara formata. Audio.
Guillaume found his archers hidden within a quiet village. They reported that a group of enemy spearmen were on their way to secure the area. Guillaume noticed the hill nearby and knew it would be a perfect spot for an ambush.
Camarade archers. Fade archer. Archer, in avant. Obedio. In avant, archer. Bene, bene. Sì, bene. Arrats. Ambula.
Guillaume's plan once again proved true. His archers shot down the enemy spearmen from their strategic position. With his forces now gathered under his command, Guillaume prepared to rendezvous with his ally, King Henri I of France.
de baron! Leggere giusse est verze cadei.
Now bolstered by his liege's forces, Guillaume marched to battle.
Arquière parade. Arquière ambulance. Entendo. Arco quemandes. Sie. Sagitta in arco. Bene. Sì. On demand? Itinérant.
Quid mandes? Bene.
Quément. Arquière parade. Arco parade. Sagitta in arco. Arquière in avant.
Quid mandes?
On demand?
Ambulo. Leggere giusse est verze cadei.
The time had finally come. Guy and his rebel army stood in open defiance against the combined forces of Guillaume and King Henri. Guillaume had mastered numerous skills, and now it was time to put those skills to the test. Henri had granted Guillaume the right to initiate the attack, and on his order, the fight for his dukedom would begin.
Quid? Parade. Movo. Flanquiers. Mauvais, Serpientes. Obéissons.
It was during this battle that Guillaume first demonstrated his prowess as a warrior of Viking descent. He single-handedly turned the tide of battle and inspired his men to victory.
Arquière parade. Observe l'avant. Diligence.
With his forces depleted, Guy de Brion was utterly defeated and fled. It was said that the dead were so numerous they floated downstream and clogged the local water wheel. It was this victory at Valesdune where Guillaume first displayed his militaristic genius and demonstrated his fighting prowess. It was here that he established himself as the undisputed Duke of Normandy.